Okay, one last view, the auxiliary view. Turn our construction lines on. These guys projecting straight up. I'm gonna trim those off. And then delete these. Oops. I didn't mean to. Oh my goodness. TR, enter, T, enter, trim to this line. And then just, there we go. Perfect. Okay, these are the ones I want to keep here. I am going to actually add some more of those lines. I'm going to project off this vertical face as well. So we're going to have a bunch of these angled lines. Let's just do that now. Copy one of these guys and grab all things important. Edges of holes, centers of holes. You know the drill. Okay, there they are. And this line going across, I'm just going to place randomly. Rather than bouncing these vertical lines and using a transfer line to angle them into this, which I did last time, a bisecting angle to hit this face, I'm just going to redo the offsets again. They're both ways work just fine. The truth is that it's a lot of trouble to do it using that bisecting method, which we did before. And there's just not enough information being projected anyway to warrant that effort. Doing these offsets is really easy in this one. So what does that mean? It means taking one of these perpendicular lines and placing it kind of randomly. I think I'll just start my drawing there. That'll work. And then offsetting accordingly. And our offsets begin with the 3/4 value, 0.75. And we just got a bunch of those basically. It's a funny drawing. It's just made up of all these 3/4 inch offsets. So the total width is 3 inches across, so that would get us to there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And that was the case, you can see in this view too, one from the outside, then to the center of this, then to its outside, which is the center of the part, then to the center of this hole, and then to the outside. So those are the 5 main lines that make up this drawing. We would also have the, and these are the center lines. I'll mark those now. So those are those center lines. We can offset each one of those, the diameter of the holes. So I'll do that next. O, enter. And the hole diameters are 5/8. So we'd actually offset the radial value, which is 5/16. And offset those on both sides. And then we can turn those back to construction lines. So that that took care of it. So we could have drawn a bisecting transfer line here, bisecting this angle between here and here, which would have been 30 degrees, and we could have projected these lines upward and then off of it if we wanted, but instead we just did the offsets. And it was pretty easy to do those offsets, again, because there weren't very many. Okay, we have pretty much all of the construction lines we need for this, I think. So let's get to it. I'm going to start with the easy part, the true size view, which is the projection of this face perpendicular to that face. So we'll just do this initially as straight lines, and then we'll put in our arcs. Okay. So just to get the basic outline here, that's it. This face right here, drawn true size. We need to put in the radius, and we need to put in the hole and the arc here. So the hole is just going to be from the center to any one of those edges, and the radius is just going to be, again, be the center to any one of those edges, and then we'll just trim off those pieces. And then the fillet here is just a standard true size fillet. So F, enter, R, enter. And remember that one was slightly larger than our default of 0.125. It was 3/16, which is 0.188. Or you can type in 3/16 and grab those two lines. Okay. I'm going to turn off my construction lines for a moment, trim this out, trim this stuff away. There it is. So the projected view, the auxiliary view is done. And you could leave it that way, you know. Like I said before, if there are many a person that would say, there's no sense in drawing the not sure why I'm not getting any lines shown. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer, sorry. There's no sense in drawing the projected view, and they might projected, I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong, the foreshortened view, and they would say, just draw a break line, and that's that, you know. And we could have done that on all of these views. But for fun, for the sake of learning, we are doing the foreshortened faces in all of these views. So let's continue forward with that exercise. Turn my construction layers back on and get rid of that. And draw the foreshortened view. So let's trace out the foreshortened view like we did before, just for fun, just so we can see pretty much where it goes. Something like that. Something like that. Not quite, but you get the general idea. We need to put in the holes here, which are ellipses, and the outer circle, which is also an ellipse. And then this inner curve, which is an ellipse. So let's mark the centers here with actual center lines coming out of these. So I'm going to click on both of those guys and say, those are the foreshortened view center lines. There they are. And let's get on it. I'm going to zoom in there tight so we can do this. Okay, so we know our ellipse hole is going to go, let's do the one on this side first. It's going to go within this rectangle here. We'll do that first. Go to my center ellipse and click on that center point, and then one edge and then the other edge. Boom. And then we'll do it again to do the outer here. So click on the center and go to the one edge and then to the other edge. There it is. Okay. And then I could turn off the construction lines and just trim accordingly. TR, enter, get rid of this stuff. There it is. So the one side is done. We need to do this other side here, and then we need to do the joining ellipse. So let's turn those construction lines back on. Let's do the one over here. It's the exact same process. Go to our ellipse, we'll do the hole first, click on the center, go to its edges, and then again, from the center to the outer edges, and make sure we're getting this one right. Did I mark that outer edge? I believe that's it right there. I didn't mark it, but I believe that is the case. Okay. And turn off the construction lines, and then we can trim that away. Get rid of that and that. Before I do that, though, I am going to copy this guy, and the reason I'm going to copy him is because I am going to use him to make the one that joins these two. So watch this. C-O, enter, copy this guy. And it's basically just from this edge to that edge right there. The way they made it super easy for us by everything being so balanced with these 3/4 inch offsets. So these sides all line up like that. So I'll do that one more time. Before I trim this guy away, I'm going to copy him. C-O, enter. And just grab him from this point here and copy him to there. All right. And now I can just get rid of that placeholder line. That was just temporary anyway. And now I can trim this to this arc. So TR, enter, get rid of that, and that, and that, and that. And that's it. There it is. The foreshortened view is done. Zoom out a little bit. So pretty straightforward. Just making those ellipses and going to the edges, having the construction lines there and being able to click on them made all the difference. And they are projected parallel to the true size surface. There it is right there. I should parallel to the lines that come off the true size surface. It's all the same angle. It's the line of sight. So to see something true size, you need to look at it perpendicular. So these construction lines, basically, they represent our line of sight. We are looking at this face perpendicular to this face. It appears true size. We are looking at this other face at a sharp angle. So it appears foreshortened.